Lead Gantt has a really good feature, and that feature is that each of the Lead Gantt sheet can actually be a main project, and a same Lead Gantt can also become a mini project for something that's above it. So think of it as let's say you want to run a main project, and then you have mini projects running underneath for one of the sections for the main project. So it could be your checklist that you want to run. It could be detailed tasks for one of your stages that you can run separately and have separate teams work on these sheets separately. Then that mini project one, for example, could have another sub project below it, and you could link them back to each other so that whatever dates and everything your team updates in your sub project one will get rolled into mini project one, and whatever changes happen in mini project one will then actually get rolled into your main project. So, and each of these sheets would have their own baseline and their own actual sheets. They could start the project, they could plan the project in baseline, then they can start the project and keep making updates. And every sheet, once it is updated, let's say somebody else is in charge of the mini project and has another team that works on the sub project. The team that works on the sub project can make their changes over here. When the project in charge, the project manager comes in, they can just press that update button, and all the updates that the team has made in sub project would roll into mini project. And let's say there is a big boss in the company, and the big boss in the company wants to see how all these projects are coming up, and they can then press the main button, and whatever updates are in the mini project one would roll back into the main project. So that's coming up in today's video. Linking these sheets or rolling up the Gantt charts from different lead Gannts into one sheet is very simple. What you need to do, however, is plan this thing ahead so that you don't have n number of sheets and then you can't understand or determine which sheet is actually rolling back in there. Although there is a link every time you link another sheet, there'll always be a link, and you can quickly click on it and see where that project is at, how is it tracking at any given time. Another thing that you need to remember is that if you are planning the project and then you've got another sheet that you want to link back in here, the moment you link that sheet, the baseline sheet will always link back to baseline sheet. So if you haven't started a project and you want to link that to baseline, it will only look at, let's say this project hasn't started because we still haven't got an actual sheet in here. And I wanted to link back this mini project into my main project. And when I set up the link, it'll only pick up the baseline sheet because I'm setting up the baseline. I'm setting up the link in baseline. The reason being because let's say I haven't started the project as yet. But what happens if you've already started the mini project and you want to link it back to a main project? That means an actual sheet already exists and your baseline is locked in that particular lead Gantt. So when you are linking back again to baseline, remember will always link back into baseline. It won't link. It won't link back into actual. However, if this sheet, for example, had an actual sheet, so let's say we now have an actual sheet, and the project that basically means that the project had started, and I wanted to now start the project. That means now when I link this sheet, it will link the actual sheet back into the actual sheet. Before you get confused, just remember to simplify things. All you have to do is remember that baseline will always pick up the data from baseline sheet in the mini project that you're trying to link back into the main project. If you create an actual sheet and then try and link something, it will actually look for the actual sheet. And if, for example, in this scenario, let's say we started the main project because some of the mini projects had already started, that means there was an actual sheet. And the moment we will start this project, what it will ask me to do is it'll go and check which are the mini projects that are linked with my actual sheet, and whether or not there's a project has already started in the mini project. Now, if it hasn't, it'll prompt me, or it'll prompt the user to create the actual sheet in the mini project where the project hasn't started, which basically means that you could start the project for all your mini projects from the main project sheet.